all the hours at the subrate, $8. And then WAH, anytime you see WAH on your check, that means it's overtime. And it's weighted average. And weighted average, we're going to talk about that right now and show you how weighted average is paid. You'll have a sheet like this in your form, in your packet. And it says when employees are paid two different rates for two separate jobs for the same employer, generally overtime is computed on the basis of 1.5 times the weighted average. For example, and we're looking at, this example goes along with the very top week of this timesheet I showed you. Employees work 32 hours during the work week at a job that pays $9 an hour and 38 hours at a second job which pays $8 an hour. The overtime we computed as follows. 32 times $9 an hour equals $288. 38 hours times 8 equals $304. That's a total of $592 paid for all 70 hours worked on that first week. You take the $592 and divide it by the amount of hours, which was 70, and that gives you an average daily rate of pay at $8.46 an hour. You take that $8.46 an hour and divide it by 2, and that gives you your halftime rate, which is $4.23. $4.23 times the 30 hours of overtime is $126.90. $592 plus the $126.90, that employee would have received $718.90 for the first week of their payday. Now, if you ever get weighted average and you're really totally confused, just come into my office anytime and I'll be glad to sit down and to show you exactly how we paid you. We're not here to try to take money away from anybody. We do our very best to make sure that everyone is paid correctly. This is another form that shows you again the weighted average calculation. And this is a form that you yourself are able to calculate. And just again to give you a vision of how we pay you. And this is because the accounting department wants us to pay it this way. But let's just say you're just working your regular shift and you're ICF employee. And ICF employees, some of them work 84 hours of payroll. And what they work is 36 hours one week and 48 hours the next. And so the way that is calculated is they have 36 times, let's say you make $10 an hour. And then on the second week, you're going to have 48 times 10. Because you're always going to have 8 hours of overtime. The way that would be paid is 84, all your hours, 84 times 10. And then that 8 would be paid at the halftime rate, which is 5. But remember that 8 is also paid up here in this 84, so you're really making $15 an hour for that overtime, even though it's broken down differently. So if you have any questions about that, you can come see me as well. Time allowance, the computer gives a 7-minute time allowance. For instance, if you're supposed to be on your job at 9 o'clock and you clock in at 9:06, that's within 7 minutes. So the computer automatically takes that back to 9 o'clock. It's the same way if you clock in at 9:09, that's after 7 minutes, so the computer's going to take you to 9:15. This is for payroll purposes only. We pay in quarter increments all around the clock. So that's the only reason this is doing this. I've had employees come into my office and say, Miss Sheila, they're trying to write me up because I got here at 9:06 and saying I'm late. Well, if you're here at 9:06, you are late. You're supposed to be on your job at 9 o'clock. And so this is only for payroll purposes only. Remember that. Year-end W-2s, please remember always to keep your address current with us. We give out the W-2s. If you're not here to pick them up, we put them in the mail. If you've changed your address and you don't let us know, then that goes to your old address, and people will open up your mail and look at it. I know of 2 employees that have worked here at Orange Grove Center who moved, didn't tell us, and their identities got stolen because their W-2s went to the wrong address. So it's very important that you always keep your address current with us. Also, if we have to do a copy of your W-2, if there's a $5 charge for that, just to let you know. The next thing in your packet is a personnel data change form. This is what you would use to change your address, also your name, if you have a name change. If you get married or divorced, then you would have to fill out this form in order to change your name. And anytime that you change your name, you have to do a new I-9 as well. So keep that in mind. And the last thing in my packet is the employee voluntary cancel payroll deductions. Some of our deductions you can stop and start anytime you'd like. There are others, sections 125, you cannot. These are for those that you are able to. Critical illness, cancer, United Way, health savings, short-term disability, or voluntary life. So, again, this is your packet from the payroll department. I welcome you to Orange Grove Center, and if you have any questions, please feel free to come and see me. Thank you. Goodbye.